I really, 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 really want to play as a Void Elf Demon Hunter. So, like, I don't know, make it happen, Blizz. Please? Please? Okay, thanks, bye.
Thralls Balls! They're everywhere!
Thralls Balls. The World of Warcraft podcast with a dirty mind and a clean behind. Hosted by Bentolas, Gershom, and Wooly. What's up, swingers? From the foamy streets of Milwaukee at the Thralls Balls headquarters. I got that backwards, but it is fine. Welcome to episode 40 of Thralls Balls. I'm Wooly, that's Gershom, that's Bentolas. On today's show, we're going to talk about Hell's Janitor. What do I mean by that? Contemplate what kind of shot could come up out of the Undercity. And we're gonna draft our top 5 favorite lore characters. If I can stop tripping over my words, that is. How's it going, G&B?
40's the new 30, baby.
Yeah. What's up, swingers? Happy 40th birthday to my favorite podcast.
Yeah, actually, you know what? We recently realized the show is almost a year old, despite the fact that we're not at 52 episodes. I'm pulling that up right now. I forgot about what the actual... It just says April 2021.
I believe we said it was the 21st, right? April
Something to that
21st
effect.
or 19th. There was like some weird
I think it was
contention.
the 19th. I don't know.
It was between the dates that Spotify and Anchor FM provided us. I think one was the 19th and then it aired on the 21st or something. Yeah.
I am pulling up Anchor as we speak because early on I wasn't scheduling episodes. I was just publishing them as I finished them. So that first one, April 26th, actually.
Ooh, okay. We were totally wrong. Or
And,
I was totally wrong.
Speaking of things being born in April, I am Uncle Wooly. My little sister had a baby yesterday.
I know. I saw on
Congratulations.
Discord. I'm so happy. Yay! We start calling you Uncle Wooly. That sounds.
Uncle Wooly. That
You know, I'm not
sounds-
gonna. I'm not gonna call you that at all. Never mind. As soon as the words came out of my mouth, I was like, I'm not saying that
Yeah, that
ever
sounds
again.
really inappropriate. But, oh well.
Totally. That's funny.
It's like Uncle Friendly or Uncle Hands or okay. We immediately took this somewhere ridiculously dark. Anyway, my sister had a baby. The baby's adorable. So
Hey, Wooly, are you Catholic? Are you going to be the godfather?
you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding, and you ask me to do. I forgot the voice line. I'm not Catholic.
Okay. You guys like do godparents and all that, or no?
Technically, I mean, I think my godfather was my uncle, but he died in like 1995, so I'm not really sure. Before we get on into the thing, I want to give a little bit of a disclaimer about spoilers, because we are going to be talking about a certain thing that leaked, and it's an actual real leak. We're also going to be talking a little bit about what Sylvanas' judgment means. So if you haven't played that part of the game yet and you don't want it spoiled, go play it before you listen. And there was something else, wasn't there? Oh, we are going to be talking a little bit about the Sylvanas book, which, to my knowledge, neither Gershom nor myself has finished it yet at this point. It is a pretty meaty book, but it's good. Before we get into that stuff, what have we been up to in WoW? Actually, you know what? We can just start with the book. Gershom, what do you think of it so far?
No, I'm on the spot. I think it is fucking amazing. So first, I just want to say that this is my first audiobook ever. And I may be almost as stubborn as Lady Sylvanas herself when it comes to like changing her minds about things, because I have always, my entire life, needed a paper book. I just like the smell, the feel, the rustle of the pages, all that stupid poetic shit. But it came down to the nitty gritty. I did not have the money for a new copy of the book, and I did have some free Audible downloads. So I said, well, if I really want to do this before the show, I guess I'll try. And I had heard some good things about the newer iterations of like the audibles of the novels and stuff, where like they add the music and it's voice acted and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. I am enthralled. This book is so good that I woke up this morning with like Silver Moon City music blaring in my head. And by the way, that I used to like that music so much when I was like a noob stuck at a desk just trying to stay in touch with WoW. I would listen to the soundtracks, and that was always queued up. The Silver Moon City, the Lament of the Highborn, all that stuff. Sometimes when I was at home, I would roll a brand new Night Elf and just minimize WoW and work from home and like just listen to that zone, the music. So to go there and to see it as like the ancestral birthplace of this character, yet I almost called her a heroine just now because it's very polarizing. The book is written so well. Anyone who wanted a good backstory, you're not going to find this book lacking. This book is amazing. There was a thread on Reddit like months ago where somebody was like, if we don't learn a hot ton of something about hot mama Sylvanas or something. There was like this weird thread going around where like everyone wants to know about Sylvanas' parents. And at the time I was kind of like, well, fuck Sylvanas, the way she treats the Horde, I'm not into her and da-da-da. But that would be cool. Christy Golden delivers on this in a way. Sylvanas is a very fleshed out character, and I'm only on like chapter 10. I think I'm on like the second war. Like I told Willie about this, the part where like the Amani and the orcs are banding up and trying to sack Silvermoon and stuff like that. So and like
trying to make it look like it's only the Amani, and it's not.
Right, by like stealing their arrows back and doing all kinds of weird shit. Like yeah, they're trying to make the elves lose focus and say, well, it's the trolls, and then when they turn and face on the trolls, then the orcs are gonna come sweeping in. They did this. That's like one other point I have to make. So this is like a mirror image of the storyline that you see in Tides of Darkness, which Christy Golden did not write. I forget if it was Aaron Rosenberg or like that Ken R.A.D. Kentito guy or whatever. It might have been Aaron Rosenberg. It wasn't Christy. It is Aaron Rosenberg, right?
I just Googled it, yeah.
Like a dummy, I left it sitting on my bookshelf as I'm trying to talk about it. But this is actually like a mirror image of the story that you read there, except that story does not prevent Sylvanas like at all. It's all Illyria and Varisa and Thrallion and the Horde and the Alliance forces, Kurgan Wildhammer and Khadgar and like everybody. And you're like, I remember reading that book and thinking, okay, in retrospect, Sylvanas was Ranger General at this time. Like, I do believe she was Ranger General by this point in the story. So where the fuck is she? This book definitely will tell you where she was, what she was doing, what she was feeling. The book is excellent. I can't wait to finish it. I'm gushing. I like the rounded out character of Sylvanas a lot more. This has done a lot to humanize her. Her love story with Nathanos, like I was on the bus today and I like almost cried at one point. I was like, these two were in love. Like, wow, it's so good. It delivers on so many levels. I'm freaking out. Wooly, what'd you think? It was good. It was great.
How he's like, why do you like me? And she's like, because you're ugly. And I was like, okay.
But you're ugly, but you're really fucking smart and you're a great archer. So let's make out.
It's like fifth grade stuff, right? Like, remember fifth grade, like the girls would tell like they would go, oh, this kid's bullying me. It's like, oh, just because he has a crush on you.
No girls ever had a crush on me in fifth grade.
Boys are the ones that do it to girls. That's what he's saying, is that Sylvanas was like his biting, like sarcastic comments for some reason. It's just, but that might be like the way that she is. That's the way her character was rolled. She likes that kind of bitter, like snapping sarcasm. And honestly, if you read the book, she's kind of bred, as much as she was like part of the royal court and stuff, she was always sassy, and she was bred around a lot of combat that was subconscious. Like Illyria, I knew that this happened, but I didn't know how it happened. But like Illyria runs away from home, and and throws away the title of Ranger General. She doesn't want to be heiress. She doesn't want to be Ranger General. She runs away from home as, probably an older teenager. We're left to assume somewhere around that, age level. And it was because her mom was like super strict and very biting. She was Ranger General. She was amazing and she was a good mom, I think, but she was in charge of the nation's military. That's what the Farstriders are, right? The military, essentially.
Wasn't the brother too like a badass warrior, Lyrith?
No, actually, Lyrith was
He's
a musician, a royal
he's
musician.
Oh, like a bard, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Actually,
So like, and
he didn't really. It's a bit of a spoiler for the book, so I'm not going to say much about it. But I mean, obviously, we know where we are in the game that Lyrith is dead. But he actually asks a couple times to be trained for combat, but Sylvanas is like, no, I don't want to fucking do that. You're gonna die. No, I don't want you to get hurt. So like, he never actually learns it, and he's apparently not very good at it.
yeah, he was always sort of leaned towards like the musical arts and stuff like that, and he doesn't like it, but Sylvanas presents it in a way that sort of makes sense to him but pisses him off. She's like, another spoiler alert, their parents are killed by orcs.
Oh no.
And so, no, we didn't know that. But yeah, so like, she doesn't want him to see all that, and then she also says, hey, like, me and both your sisters, we're all Farstriders, we're all archers. Can you imagine how happy it made mom and dad that they would have one kid who might survive? He's like, why didn't mom and dad force me? I'm a boy, I was gonna fit in to be a man. My mother is Ranger General too. What happened? And they were just like, Lyrith, like, it never suited you.
Yeah, I mostly am really happy about so far anyway. I've always wanted to know more about Lyrith without having to Google a bunch of shit. And I he's not my favorite character, but I'm happy to know more about him. And I also want to point out that the audiobook is read by Patty Mattson, who voices Sylvanas. And you don't just hear, like, it doesn't just immerse you more because you can hear actual Sylvanas' voice, and though it does, but also you hear this huge range of voices that Patty Mattson can do. And, like, when she does Lyrith's voice, like, he is always kind of on the young side, so he sounds young, and she makes his voice sound like a young man. It's kind of weird, kind of cool. I really like it.
The development too, like, as some of those characters get older, like, Lyrith's voice does change. She does pay attention and make sure to not make him sound like a child anymore. And speaking on that, just specifically real quick, the way that she kind of transitions into the Sylvanas voice that we all know. Sylvanas doesn't start out talking like that just because she's a teenager. It's not like, oh, I went through a voice change and now all of a sudden I sound like this. Like, no, that's her fucking commander. That's her Ranger General voice. She takes that shit very seriously. And to hear her kind of transition into that very professional, brusque Sylvanas that a lot of us have more like day-to-day experience with at this time, it's fucking fascinating. I love it. I think the book fills in so many details. I'm gonna listen to it again. I'm gonna read it. This is a winner, 100%. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing it. Go check it out, everybody. It's pretty good. From what I understand, and I can't confirm or deny because I haven't gotten this far, we're supposed to figure out more about what exactly was going on with Sylvanas and Helia, or how Sylvanas came to be involved with the jailer and all that. And I've even heard we find out a little more about the Wrathgate. So it fills in a lot of holes people have been asking about. But let's move on a little bit, otherwise we're gonna spend all day talking about this. What have we been up to in WoW? Let's start with Bent, because you haven't talked in a little bit.
My only thoughts is, one, I gotta buy the book, and then two, I just, like, you mentioned Silvermoon, Gershom, and I was like, wow, Silvermoon is like criminally underused in the game. But I did a bunch of fucking or freaking mythic keys this week for the
Oh, I
first
said
time.
fuck. Better backtrack and say frick instead. Oh, knock my microphone over.
No one's
I-
gonna know that Chris said the F word.
I say it a lot, but yeah, I did a bunch of fucking keys, and I filled out vault, my vault thingy majingy, and I got 2100 IO, and I have like
Oh,
no
nice.
fortified keys done yet, so I think next week I can get it. And then my guild, we are 10 out of 11 heroic now, 11 out of
Hooray.
11 normal. Thank you. We're not even touching heroic jailer because nobody but the warriors want to actually do that fight. And then Thursday we hopped into mythic and we actually did really well. We killed the first boss in less than 15 pulls, and we killed the second boss in less than 5 pulls.
So you're not even trying for curve at all. You guys are just gunning straight toward cutting edge, huh?
No, I think we're gonna go for it once we fill out the rest of our 4 pieces. A lot of us don't have it. It's just like we want to see where we get, how far we can get into mythic before we kind of hit a wall, and then we can
Oh, yeah.
go back, kill it, get a little confidence going. 'Cause confidence is key when everyone's like in a good mood and playing well. Yeah, and then I know I touched about how like what a douche the guild leader could be, and I don't know what he's been doing the past week. I guess he's like working on himself, but he's been coming to raid and he's kind of like giving the reins to other officers to lead the raid, and he's actually been very chill and actually like enjoyable to play with. So things are
Maybe
going a little
somebody
bit better.
approached him and went
Yeah.
like, "Hey, this isn't fun. You gotta chill."
I just think he started smoking weed again, but
Oh, I mean that'll do it.
Hey, that'll help too. That will help.
yeah, but that's what I've been up to. And I did normal last night on my monk. We got 10 out of 11 done, and then yeah, I'm gonna probably bang out a few more keys on my shaman and my mage. And I'm gonna use this fucking time to please buff Outlaw Blizzard. We're fucking dog shit. Thank you.
That was with the collected company guys on whatever guild they're in now.
No, my guild runs. Everyone has like alts, so the guild I'm in
Oh,
for Mythic,
gotcha.
we just do. It's like for fun, people bring in like
I got
characters
all
they never play.
excited for a second.
They actually, I will say, Cal, Viz, Kazi are all playing on Greymane Alliance again.
You said, if I'm gonna go to a different server, it would be for Horde. I love the Alliance setup on Proudmoore. That said, so you're done with what you did in WoW?
Yep, that's it for me.
All right. That said, I'll step in here. I'm more or less trying to figure out what I want to play in the next expansion, and part of that is I'm waiting for the official announcement in the vain hope that I'll get my Void Elf Void Elf Demon Hunter or Void Elf Paladin or something like that. But I'm trying to decide between Demon Hunter, which is at the top of the list, Hunter, Feral Druid, which isn't as high on the list as I would like it to because I love the theme, but the gameplay takes a little bit to wrap your head around. And you know what? I think I'm just going to leave it at those 3 and try to decide. I was deciding whether or not to throw Unholy Death Knight on there, but no. So it's going to be tricky. And the reason I'm thinking that's a good transition is because if I end up having to play my Demon Hunter without him being a Void Elf, I'm probably going to switch to Blood Elf. And I'm going to stick him in my, little Horde guild on Proudmoore that we've done absolutely nothing with, Swing Low. Because, cross-faction raiding is coming, so I'd be able to do that. So there's that.
You have any interest in the new class, Blaggy? When it comes out and it's announced?
If there's a new class, I'll keep an eye on it. There is a leak that's not really a leak, one of those MMO Champions shitty ones, that happens to line up in name with the actual leak that came from the Blizzard website. And I'm hoping that that's not actually a real leak and that the things they outline in there aren't real. Because there's just, no, it wasn't my cup of tea. So if there is a new class, I will be keeping an eye on it. But I love the gameplay of the Demon Hunter. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I honestly might just make my Demon Hunter a Blood Elf anyway, just to have him there. And I get that it's an easy class, but there's a very low skill floor and a somewhat medium to low skill ceiling, medium to high skill ceiling, you can really fucking, when we were in Nyalotha and I was on my Demon Hunter, it was almost effortless. I'm not gonna brag, but it was almost effortless how much damage I was pumping out. And it felt awesome, and I kind of want to do that again.
I think you described it perfectly. I think, you know, it's a very easy class to get used to and play, like, you know, on an average level. But like, if you want to be really good, I think there's like a lot of nuance to it. You don't max it, you know?
As far as raid goes, been raiding with Unamas on my Warlock. Like, you know, that's my guild. And Gershom's guild too, because, you know, Nodo, what up? We have gotten as far as the jailer normal on my team. The other team, I think they've gotten a couple heroic down, but as far as I'm aware, I think they were number 17 on the server to get a normal jailer kill, is that other team. So, I mean, props to them, I guess, but we're still working away at it. We got Rygalon, and with the reset, we're just gonna keep farming through, get more gear. I got my 2 set, which, you know,
Congratulations.
Congrats,
thank
man.
you. It's really helped my numbers. I managed to parse blue or purple now because I got like every 10. What my 2 set is for the Destruction Warlock is every 10 soul shards spent, I get a totally free Chaos Bolt or Rain of Fire. Excuse
Yo.
me, I burped. So like,
I Alta Destro. That's huge. What the fuck?
yeah. So it's especially good because if it lines up right and I have to move, I still get to throw a Chaos Bolt without having to cast it. It's great.
Is it
Wait,
your
it's an
force set
instant?
bonkers, though?
It's an instant cast?
Yeah.
Oh shit. That is
Instant
even
and free.
huger. Wow, that is intense.
I'm not
Isn't your force set though bonkers, Willie?
I'm not actually sure what the force set is. I read it up at one point and I've forgotten. I'm gonna look this up.
You get like an infernal, like you could have like a permanent infernal or something like that.
What? Oh
I'm
my god, I
looking
need
this
to
up.
start mating my warlock. Fuck.
Oh no, that's the wrong article. No, fucking.
While you look for it, do you want me to tell you the 2 stupid things I did this week? Because it wasn't shit.
I actually just found it.
Okay, good.
So, force set Avatar of Destruction. When Chaos Bolt or Rain of Fire consumes a large ritual of ruin, you summon a blasphemy for 8 seconds.
What's a blasphemy? Is that like a new kind of demon type?
What is a blasphemy? That's got to be that like a different color infernal, I suppose. So like basically Ritual of Ruin, that's that buff you get that makes the Chaos Bolt have no cast time, consume no soul shards. Avatar of Destruction. This is all very great to listen to. Yeah, no, I'll have to look into that. It sounds like it's a mob that'll come kill shit for 8 seconds. Which, if you pack enough haste onto that, and you're fucking, and you got the like hero or bloodlust going, you spend soul shards like fucking nothing else. So you could have 2 of those motherfuckers up at the same time. That sounds awesome.
Hell yeah.
We'll have to see how it works. Yeah, keep getting those tier pieces.
Shit,
And we're going
yeah.
to start crafting them like next week, right? I think.
Well,
Being
people have
able
4
to-
sets now. Oh, you mean
Oh, I
being
don't.
able to
Yeah.
use the thing where...
Yeah.
I've lost track. But that's all the things I've been up to in WoW. What about you, Gershom?
I did 2 really stupid things. Mostly I was reading the book, and it was kind of more in like a shit posting mood this week, like, you know, memeing and stuff for whatever reason. I was just tired, but I switched Noto to Night Fae, which has improved my numbers a lot. I'm not going to say double, but going to say pretty damn good, just the way the rotation goes in Night Fae. I asked Immune for help on that. I was like, should I go, because I like Gershom's damage, you know, with the Death Chakram, or should I go Night Fae? And he was like, well, his Hunter Metalloid is Night Fae. And I thought, you know, if I already have a Necrolord, why don't I try it? It wasn't so bad. I forgot that when you switch Covenants, it knocks your Renown down again. So I'm just kind of casually doing like Renown with her with just like callings and, you know, whenever I'm done in like Z modes or, you know, I have a moment. But it's not really important because I already have all the mounts and most of the mogs. And I have another Night Fae hunter, my daughter's hunter, who is max renown with them anyway. So I basically have all the clothes, all the mounts. It's just kind of a completionist thing. And seriously, like sort of that was it. That and just reading. I didn't do a lot this week.
Honestly, the Night Fae Hunter ability is a lot of fucking fun.
It is a lot of fun. It's fun. You see a lot of big numbers pop, and it's very visually enticing. You know, it's cool. Like the Death Chakram's cool too in its own way, and I could never see Gershom being a Night Fae, but for Noto it works. You know, it works. I enjoy it. I'm not so crazy that I'm gonna go switch her to Necrolords too. Although there has been times where I feel like on the same bosses, I see Gershom's numbers look a little bigger, but I'd rather have honestly one of each. Like if I want a different look or a different aesthetic, I'll just go play Gershom. So I like that. Yeah. She's happy as Night Fae right now, definitely.
Oh, okay. That's good. Like, I mean, realistically, you're not raiding, so you don't need to necessarily push for that extra 0.2% damage.
Oh no, exactly. That's the whole thing is I'm just casual about it. I just got a little OCD once I got details. I'm like, I want to see it this way. And then that one guy called me like dumpster fire or hot garbage or something. I was like, well, it made me happy to see that on the same boss that had happened to me on Noto with the Night Fae, my numbers were about what his were. So like I remembered what his numbers were sort of in my head because I have like a visual memory like that. And so I was like, oh, it's like 7.1K or whatever. And I was pulling like 8. So I'm like, well, maybe he's doing better now because he has his tier set and I don't. But either way, I'm staying with the pack and it just feels fine. My OCD is weird like that. But yeah, that's it.
Well, I had originally written in the notes that we were going to talk about what we think about the Sylvanas' judgment section of the storyline or whatever, but I think we should do mixed drink of the week first and then we can talk about that. What do you guys think?
Fuck yeah.
All right, you ready for this shit, Bent? Did you get it together?
I got it together.
Fuck yeah. All right, see you on the other side of the bumper. It's time for the mixed drink of the week. Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! It's the mixed drink of the week. Before we get into what is going on here, please remember to only drink or partake of any alcohol. Wow, I fucked up that. I usually word it differently. If you're of legal age to do so, or legal whatever. This is the most disjointed I've ever delivered this. Don't do shit that's not legal. Don't do shit that's not smart. We're not responsible for anything that happens to you based on your own choices. Anyway, we are working through cities that we are making shots named after, with the focus of the mixed drink of the week being on the shot itself. I'm gonna put up a spreadsheet a list sometime soon of all the cities we've done on Twitter. And I'm going to update the spreadsheet that I said we were going to use internally to keep it all straight. Oops. But this week, Bent is up, and he picked Undercity. So, I guess it's up to us to guess what's in an Undercity shot.
Correct. And I actually have a name for it, too.
Oh, damn. Gershom, what do you think?
Lime Gatorade and Malort.
Oh, boy. What I would have done, or at least what I don't know. I'd like to think there's a creative spin on this with, you know those, like, syringes, but not really syringes that they put shots in some bars? I'm thinking it's like that, and the shot itself is like a jelly kind of jello shot sort of thing, but it's like lime green and all. What would the alcohol be mixed into that though? I want to say Jaeger. So I'm thinking it's a Jaeger jello shot squished into a shot syringe thing. Yeah, that's what I think.
Well, you both are right on the color, but it wasn't a gel. Like, I know what you're talking about, those like syringe jello shots. It's not
Yeah.
that.
Damn.
Oh, it's called the Blight.
Oh boy.
It is 1 shot coconut ciroq vodka, 1 shot that sour apple pucker, 1 shot regular Mountain Dew, and then a splash of sour mix, just a splash, not too much, like literally like a drop of it in there. You shake it up, strain it, pour it into a shot glass. It should look green with a white foamy top. That's supposed to symbolize like the Blight bubbling.
Wow.
Damn.
Yo,
Awesome, dude.
That was amazing.
So I've got 1 shot coconut ciroq, 1 shot sour apple pucker. What after that? I'm sorry.
1 shot of Mountain Dew, the regular flavor.
Okay. And a splash of what?
Sour mix.
Sour mix. Damn, dude.
And you just shake it all up, like just in the shaker by itself, and the carbonation kind of makes the foam, and that's it.
Yep. And then you just strain and pour, and it should appear like a green shot. And they'll have like a little bit of white foam on top, and that's supposed to be like bubbles. I couldn't think of a better way to do it.
The water
Dude.
does, the weird like sewage green water down there does like bubble though. That's
It does.
insane.
That's
yeah.
awesome. You
Good
fucking
job.
nailed it, bro.
Yeah, killed it.
So you gonna give it a tasty taste?
Yeah, and I actually I think it tastes better without the sour mix, but let me give it a shot here.
Are you gonna say the thing, or should
Over the mouth.
no?
No,
Boo!
I don't know how to say it.
Over the
Let
lips,
Wooly say
through
it.
the gums. Look out, asshole.
Ugh. Yeah. For taste purposes, don't put the sour mix in, but for presentation, do it. But it's not bad. The sour mix kills it though. But I think if it was just by itself without it, it'd be
So
delicious.
basically, you can pour 3 shots out of this.
Yeah, pretty much.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's the mixed drink of the week. Fuck yeah. Undercity. 1 shot coconut ciroq, 1 shot sour apple pucker, 1 shot Mountain Dew, splash of sour mix, mixed up in a shaker, poured into a shot glass. I fucking love it. Sounds awesome. Next week is Gershom's pick. Gershom, what city are you taking?
Can I come back on that? I didn't realize it was mine. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Can I post it in the Discord or something? I'm so sorry. I've been at work all weekend.
Oh, you're
I
fine.
totally forgot it was my turn.
You're fine.
I'm sorry,
Just,
Swingers. I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah, we'll like tweet it and put it in the Discord and whatnot. But that is the mixed drink of the week. Fuck yeah, it is. Now we can move on. Normally I put another bumper here because this is where we go to the WoW news. But first, I want to talk about Sylvanas' judgment. I've been seeing split opinions on this, and just to sum it up, Sylvanas is like, I have the other half of my soul back, and that means I'm ready to accept the shit I did. I submit to the judgment of Tyrande. And then Tyrande rocks up with her back muscles, and she's like, why are you suddenly remorseful, bitch? And then Sylvanas is like, you could just kill me. And then Tyrande's like, fuck no, you're gonna clean up hell. So that's what I meant by the Hell's Janitor thing. She has sentenced Sylvanas to go down into the maw and basically find every last soul to send to Arbiter Pelagos to be fairly judged. So she's literally cleaning up hell. And I've been seeing a couple takes on this on Twitter that's like, really? She got off easy. Like, no, she didn't, Lex. I'm sorry to call you out, Lex. Hi. No, she didn't get off easy. She's being sent to clean up Warcraft hell.
Why would anyone say that that's easy? She maybe she's thinking that because the jailer's been conquered, that I think this is interesting. So whether this involves Lex or not, I don't know. But I always thought it was weird. I was like, okay, so the jailer's defeated, right? Like air quotes over here.
Yeah, he's been turned into Night of the Living dummy.
Right. So he's defeated. So does that mean that the maw is like empty of his people? Are they just running wild? Is it like a new scourge, like without a king the scourge will continue to invade the entire universe, which is the maw, which is very small. But let me
aren't mindless.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. They're their own souls, I guess. But then when you go back to like, say you want to get your 20, like, Noto's still working on Renown. Like she wants to go back and get her 20 souls. Everything's exactly the same down there. Nothing changed.
I mean,
So
that's nothing
I
new
still
to
think
WoW.
if that's not what I'm saying though. You're missing the point. I'm sorry. It's that if that's the mod that Sylvanas is going to, it's not going to be easy to deal with because it's going to be a bunch of shit down there still. It's not like a cleaned out maw with just a bunch of souls hanging out down there. Apparently, at least via gameplay, what we're seeing is it's the same down there. So it could be tough.
Yeah. I always struggle with where the line is between gameplay and lore. Like if I had to hazard a guess, I would say that the Mossworn are like, oh shit, he's not coming back. Well, let's just do what we were doing before. Even though it's been like eons upon eons that he's been down there doing stuff. Because didn't they create the mod to hold him? Now I think about it.
No, I think the mod
was
just
there before. Yeah, it was there before.
Yeah, I don't know. It is definitely not going to be easy for her. And I think what people are disappointed by, though, is they wanted her to be, like, fucking violently dismembered or something. Or, like, tortured, or I don't know.
That could be another point.
I just think that no matter what Blizzard did with her, half the community was going to hate it.
I actually quite like it. I quite like how they've done it.
I did too. I think so my thoughts on it is just that, like, did anyone notice she went from like 60 million health in the raid to like 29.k health when you're escorting her to the Arbiter?
No,
I didn't notice
for
that.
real?
That's
No
funny.
way.
Well, she's no longer empowered by the jailer or whatever. So
but then
it
was hilarious.
But that's kind of funny though, because if you choose the word empowered, but when she goes up in front of a Pelagarbiter, she was Pelagar. I did no. I stole that joke. You know where that's? Yeah, I stole that from DNR. I didn't.
I'm a couple episodes behind on them.
It's okay. It's okay. But she goes up in front of him, and he says during this cinematic, he says, "We understand that your actions were controlled by the jailer." And she goes, "My actions were mine alone," or something like that. So it's like, okay, if the jailer wasn't empowering you, but you were like invincible, it's just kind of funny. That's really funny, Ben. I'm gonna take one of my alts to there and check that out.
Also, I just like thought about. I saw it on Reddit. This meme, and you know that owl thing that is Tyranda's pet.
Yeah.
And it's like him just like standing there, like looking normal, and then it's like, and Dorithimer will follow you around to make sure you don't do anything bad. It's just like him, like with his eyes wide open, looking at Tyrande.
Yeah, like
a scary ass owl. Like what? Who?
Yeah.
Who's going where?
You did not consult me on this. What the? I've been a good owl. You're making me go to hell now. Fuck you.
With our arch nemesis.
But.
With no food? There's no food or water down there. What the fuck?
So, after you finish all that, there's various pairs of NPCs that have stay a while and listen type dialogue, and they're all interesting. Go check them out. But the most interesting one, I think, is between Anduin and Genn, because Genn Greymane shows up somehow for this. And Genn's like, so we're ready to have you back in Stormwind. And the implication is that the people need Anduin to come back because Genn seems, if you read into it, seems not to be pleased with how Tyrallian's doing things. But Anduin's like, no, I can't come back yet. Tyrallian's going to have to cover. And Genn's like, well, okay. But the implication is not that Anduin's like, I got a couple loose ends to wrap up. It sounds like he's not coming back to Azeroth right away. So I'm thinking, and the reason I want to point this out is I'm thinking in the next expansion, we at least at the beginning don't have Anduin. I think he's still doing stuff in the Shadowlands at that point. We'll see if I'm wrong or right, but...
How far into the book are you guys?
I know what you're referring to, and I haven't gotten there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Me
I'm not going to
neither.
spoil it for anyone,
Yeah.
but I think the book really touches on, that whole
It does.
storyline.
It does. I read a
I had
spoiler, and I'm
that
not gonna. Yeah.
same. I did too.
Yeah.
But it, not to say what that was, but it did kind of inform my opinion on this.
Redacted goes to redacted and leaves from redacted and talks to redacted. That's pretty much
Yes.
what happens.
Well,
I
I
mean,
think Wooly,
you're
you're
not
right
wrong.
though. I think it might go into what a lot of people a lot of people thought it might have been Light versus Void this next expansion, and like I think you're right. I think Anduin's not going to be there.
We're
At least
talking
not right
about.
away.
Are you guys talking about the Ilganoth Whisper too? That is basically Thrallian, right? Like the crown of light will lead into nothing but darkness or something like
I
that?
just think like Tyrallion is gonna I think in this next expansion at least. I hope they don't go to like another war because I think that'd be dumb. But I do think it's gonna be like Tyrallion's gonna be taking I think a more hardline stance than Anduin would
Yeah.
in terms
There
of like
won't
ramping
be,
up the military and stuff like that.
there
Also,
definitely won't be Horde Alliance wars. They confirmed that outside of game.
yeah, it's gonna be like a Cosmo, some sort of like bigger threat again.
The Cosmic Intergalactic Disco War or some shit.
That's right. Taliesin. Yeah, I forgot about that. The Cosmic Disco Wars. Yep.
So yeah, like I'm pleased with the way the storyline has wrapped up. I'm ready to be done with it. I'm ready to see what's going on with the Dark Iron Dwarves and the Blood Elves that's been alluded to on the PTR that we haven't talked about because a lot of it is data mined, so it's still, very speculative. But I'm excited to see where that goes.
Sorry, as a side note, have you guys taken any Horde tunes up to Genn?
No.
Like while that conversation or after that conversation happens, he treats you like shit for like being part of the Horde. Taronda's not so bad. I can't. God damn it! This is where I fucking suck, and my kid threw away my notes too. But he basically was like, as long as you're part of the Horde, you're part of the problem. Like that's what he alludes to. Yeah, it's pretty rough. You gotta YouTube it. Just I don't know. Or I'll do it on an alt and I'll post the screenshots. I'll do it on my Blood Elf.
Do it. He's a bit of a dick to Lorthamar too.
Yeah, he's
he's just a crappy old man.
Genn is Genn. He's like my grumpy dog. He's my grumpy old dog.
He's always gonna see the Horde as the people that killed his son because they are, and Sylvanas
right. That's
was.
Basic. So, right. He says that he was like, first Sylvanas did this shit to the elves. Never mind. Actually, like I think he tries to like kind of bump Tyrande down. He's like, why the fuck is important? She massacred my people first. Like he's super bringing like a lot of heat and a lot of salt to the conversation. And then like if you're Horde at the end, he's like, you being here like doesn't fucking fix things at all. As long as you're part of the Horde, it's your problem. I can't deal with you. And he basically like dismisses you. Those aren't his words, but I am gonna I'm gonna run it through on a Rosita, my Blood Elf hunter.
Okay. And
I'll post the screenshots. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Genn has always been super stubborn. That's actually why Gilneas pulled out of the Alliance in the first place.
And built their whole big wall.
Yeah, like, fuck you, we will take care of ourselves. And then they didn't.
I wonder if that's why Sylvanas saw them as, like, a favorite target. She does love to spar with, like, people of equal stubborn... I think we see that in the novel a bit. I know we can go on, but like she seems to enjoy that combative like mental stance, So maybe she saw Genn as like almost like a playful target, like something she could fuck with that would stimulate her intellect a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just fuck him up in war.
Do we have any last thoughts on this before we move on to the news? Okay, let's move on to the WoW news.
Time for WoW news, motherfuckers.
Okay, so the first little bit of news that I want to mention is, and we did give you a warning, we were talking about this, there has been leaked on the official WoW website, and I'll explain how, the name of the next expansion, whether it's an internal name or the actual final name, I think it's the final name, we will see, but Dragonflight appears to be the name of the next WoW expansion. So basically, how this leak came about is people looked into the the coding of the official website, which you can do on basically any web browser. You pull up the code, you look into it, and somebody somewhere along the line came across some strings that said things like WoW Dragonflight base pre-purchase, and it said the same for heroic, epic, and then it had strings for upgrades and from like base to heroic, heroic to epic, blah blah blah. And this is definitely real, by the way. And the reason we could tell it's real and not just somebody who made shit up and like said, hey, this is on the website, is MrGM. If you watch his videos at all, he investigated it himself. He went and put a video out of finding the strings where he doesn't know how anybody found them either. He was just kind of, his mind was blown. But he takes you to where the strings are on the website in the coding, and he shows it. So this is totally real. The next expansion is called Dragonflight, and that's gotta suck for the devs to have that leaked in such a stupid way.
I wonder if that person is gonna get like in trouble, whoever did it.
I don't know.
Like, do you think you would fire someone over that?
Well, I'd fire someone over the other thing that leaked, is because
I was gonna say that would they dev accidentally leaked the
an image.
Anduin jailer goes and stabs the Archon way before it happened, right? Or like a few days before it happened. Yeah, like back when that first happened. Remember when they were supposed to reveal it at the BlizzCon line last year?
I don't remember
like
that being...
there was like a leak like maybe the night before, and it turned out that someone in some department had like included it in an unencrypted email or something, and someone got a hold of it. And so like the next day, right before BlizzCon line, people were accidentally like clicking on it and seeing it, and then they're like, oh no, I got spoiled. I didn't, because I was at work, so I had to wait for BlizzCon line to see it. But yeah, that one got leaked too by it was in-house. So I don't know if that person got fired either, to answer your question, Ben.
I don't know, but the other half of this Dragonflight leak is definitely fireable if in fact it was an employee. Somebody posted on an Instagram story that they very quickly deleted what looks like an office cubicle, and there's a few images of Alexstrasza with a new outfit on and her dragon form behind her, and in the corner there's a logo that says World of Warcraft Dragonflight, and this looks legit too. And even what lines up with this is Alexstrasza's new outfit. There are some unnamed texture files in the 9.2.5 PTR data that you can look at the textures and they line up with what she's wearing. So there's no names on them. So I've included a video to link to MrGM's video in the notes and the Wowhead article about this. But I definitely want to know more. I am pretty stoked to basically have it confirmed that it's dragons, because I love that. And Bent was like in our chat, he's like, can I gloat about being right about new expansion? So go ahead. Here's your stage. Do it.
Just saying, loyal listeners to Thralls Balls, you guys knew about this weeks ago.
To which I say everybody knew. But if you wanna take credit, I will stand back and let you take the glory.
My PayPal is Seagwarrant. No, I'm just joking.
That sounded nastier.
Did you almost say your last name?
That sounded nastier than Uncle Wooly, by the way. I'm gonna stand back and let you take your credit. Oh.
Hey, Uncle Wooly hangs out by the glory hole.
Yo, nasty. Bye, Uncle Wooly.
So, moving on, there was something that a fan made that this isn't so much news as it is, I wish this had happened. There was an artist in the community who took it upon themselves to redesign the look of the Sepulcher Progenitor tier set to make each set look more in line with class fantasy, which it does not. And there's a lot of recoloring done, and what they've done looks great. And I really wish, I haven't been able to put it into words until now, there has been something about the look of the current tier sets that just didn't do it. And I finally realized it was because it seemed like there's got to be a balance, and they sometimes find it, they sometimes don't, between a set that looks appropriate to the dungeon or raid or whatever and appropriate to class fantasy. They don't always hit the mark. And I feel like with the Progenitor sets, they didn't hit the mark on really any of them. I don't feel like any of them look like the class they're supposed to be. They look more appropriate for the raid. And it kind of feels like the last couple expansions, like it's been more like that, how they just had one leather set, one plate set. Kind of feels like they were trying to do that again, but still have them be separate enough. And I don't know. There's definite differences, but it doesn't quite feel like, let's take the Demon Hunter one, for example. Wearing that, I would not feel like a Demon Hunter. But the way this fan did
the
it.
Hunter one sucked too. I'm going to have to check out this link because I didn't like the male set at all. And I didn't like many of the, even from 9.0, from like the beginning of Shadowlands, I didn't like any of the male sets.
Yeah, I do like that tier sets have returned. Please don't take them away, Blizzard. But one of the biggest things I personally love about this game is class fantasy. And I have not been able to indulge that at all this expansion or last expansion. So there's that. Excuse me, had to take a drink. Moving on. Blizzard did their usual April Fool's joke. I'm not going to read all the way through it because it's a long post. But they called it Patch 9.4, Beyond the End of Infinity, the final everything beginning forever. And as usual, there were people that took it seriously because they're stupid. But, you know, I thought I would highlight my favorite parts of each class, like patch notes, the fake patch notes they make. So, Death Knight. Now that Death Knights have spent a meaningful amount of time in the realms of death and found they don't really belong there, this class is renamed Knight. And you know what? I actually wrote down one for every class, but I'm just going to do one for each armor type.
Could you please read Warlock? Come on, you're a Warlock. You're gonna, right?
I will,
okay.
Don't you worry.
God, thank you, Lord.
Don't you worry. So next armor type is male. For shamans, it says Feral Spirit now summons a single spirit jellyfish, which basically does all the work for you. There's the Demon Hunter. Blade Dance now looks 15% more embarrassing when your mom catches you doing it.
Sorry.
Warlock, it says, this is great. When summoned, your incubus now assures you that whatever tomorrow brings, he'll be there with open arms and open eyes. Yeah.
That was a good one.
It's a beautiful fucking song and a great joke. And also, that's what she said. Wooly, you're fucking killing it today, bro. Yeet.
This is what happens when I talk without letting myself think about it. If I think about it, I stop myself. There's a lot more fun stuff in there, so go check it out. The link is in the show notes. But I just wanted to share some of the funnier things.
Can I, before we go one more step, can I just tell y'all how I got pranked real bad on Twitter? Did you guys see that?
Go. No, I didn't.
No, you didn't see it? So I've been recently listening to the back catalog of Unshackled Fury with Berserker, and I'm up to like episode 50. So I liked the first, like the newest episode. So I went back like 5 episodes and I liked all those. And then I started going through the back catalog. So like, you know, I had been following him on Twitter, but I wasn't really listening and stuff. So I was like, wait, it's been a couple weeks. Where's my new Unshackled Fury? So I go look, and he's like, and the title of the episode is like, Aloha means hello and goodbye. And my heart sank. I was like, he's leaving too? This is like my other source for like ridiculous cuss word filled, not all that good at the game, just podcast shit, you know? And I like the show a lot. So I listened to it, and it's basically an announcement that he's quitting the show. Right after he said he was leaving for vacation for 3 weeks. So he pretended that he was gonna like open some sort of business in like Hawaii or something. And I'm like, what? This sounds weird, but not unheard of. These shit happens. You get these opportunities. Okay. And I jumped right onto Twitter. Like, I really need to get off the internet. I'm like, oh no, I'm so bummed that Unshackled Fury is going away. And he was like, I'm really glad, that you like that joke. We basically had like a few comments back and forth where I got pranked quitting. They'll be back next week. So yeah.
That's
On Twitter,
funny.
and I was like, my social embarrassment should force me to delete this, and I didn't delete it. I left it all there, and me and Berserker had a brief little sharing comments laugh, and I was I think I ended up tweeting afterwards. I was like, I just got punked by Berserker, and I'm actually honored. Like, I was literally punked. I was like, no, they're leaving. Nope, he's here. He'll be back next week.
Well, wouldn't you rather be in that situation? Oh God, my microphone. Embarrassed but wrong, rather than have it be right and he's actually leaving.
Yeah, it was a good laugh. I mean, my face is like splitting right now. I'm laughing so hard. It was so funny. That's why I didn't delete the whole thing. I'm not embarrassed about my reaction at all. I thought it was hilarious.
Nice.
And I haven't been pranked for a long, long time. I think the last time I got pranked on an April Fool's was, I'll tell you, it was like 4 years ago. And my oldest daughter said to me, "Hey, Mom, don't worry. You don't have to bathe beep tonight. I just washed her hair in the toilet." And I went running in to see if my daughters were actually bathing each other in the toilet, and they were not. They had pranked me. And this was like 4 years ago. So it's been a while. Thank you, Berserker Rage, for that giggle.
Yeah, April Fools is always fun. Moving on, there are some Activision Blizzard things to say, so I'm just gonna get through them. First up is something called Level Up You. Activision Blizzard announced a program that would... this is loosely paraphrased from the way WoW had worded it. They announced a program to accelerate opportunities in gaming and tech for underrepresented communities. And I actually put this part in quotes because I didn't know how to say it better. It is designed to develop engineering talent and help people from all backgrounds start careers in games development. The 3-month program is currently seeking applicants with a background in programming and familiarity with C++. If it's underrepresented communities that they're shooting for, they should, in my very humble opinion, offer like more basic things as well, because a lot of people coming from such communities didn't really have the privilege to get into programming and coding and all of that in the first place.
They
Just
should
my
have
2
like an
cents on the
entry,
matter.
like if you're looking for like air quotes disadvantaged communities, then you should basically start at like an entry level, like internship or program or something like that.
Yeah,
Is
I
what
think
you're saying.
Well, yes, but I think this program is meant to be more shine a light on, like, let's say trans folks or people of color, things like that, rather than, I don't know, I don't want to be skeptical because this sounds like a good thing, but I am still waiting for the penny to drop for all these things Activision Blizzard says they're going to do. And then basically I'm holding my breath sort of to see it actually pan out to what they say it's going to be, because it's kind of hard to believe after where they're coming from. And on that matter, we reported last week that a judge was ready to approve an $18 million settlement with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, but now that's officially gone through. That is going to be a thing. You can check out the specifics of that in the link in the show notes. And then lastly, International Women's Month. And I realize, speaking as a cisgendered male, that I shouldn't be the one talking about this. And I honestly don't know much about it. So all I'm going to say is Activision Blizzard's Women's Employee Network team put out a post to talk about their inspiration for Women's History Month and what their focus is for the coming year. I do want to say it's important to note that the group is led, created, and run by women, not Activision Blizzard creating something unilaterally to give the impression of effort. or at least I hope so. But it's not my place to talk about it. I just, you know, I'm a dude. It's not my place to talk about what's acceptable or the right move in this case. So the link is in the show notes if you want to go check that out. That's all I have for notes, other than the Mage Tower is now permanent. Level 50 or higher, you can do time walking on it. But, yeah, are you guys ready to move on to the question of the week, or do you have any thoughts?
Nope, we can move on.
Question of the week.
Okay, here we go.
Question. The week.
Okay, last week we asked if you could only have one wish list feature or item in the next expansion, what would it be? And our first response was from Hoax. Hoax says Dark Ranger class. Well, I got news for you, buddy. That might be happening. Go check out Taliesin and Evitel's video on that very subject. Who wants to read the next?
I like this one. So Aaron says mustache hair options for the ladies.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's oh yeah. I think it's finally time we level the playing field and hashtag let girls have handlebars. I did post a picture of myself in their pics and memes Discord where I went and like with a electronic crayon like paint system put like a mustache on myself. So it looked pretty funny. And then I accidentally left it up while I was making dinner. And my daughters come running into the kitchen and they were screaming with laughter, like, Mom, why do you have a mustache on the internet? And I'm like, I don't. But if Aaron had his way, we would. So thank you, Aaron, for your answer.
Who wants a mustache ride? Ben, you're up. You want to read the next one?
Crucifix says, I would really like housing so I could build me a spot somewhere and fix it up with tons of farmable options scattered throughout all content to obtain. It seems like housing is something a lot of players want.
Yeah, people want housing. I could take it or leave it, but if people want it, I'm on board.
Same.
Tajurla says, account banking, just a shared bank, even if it was realm specific. It would just be great to have one place to place all my stuff that all my characters could use without having to do a bunch of mailing around. That would be awesome. And Void Storage just doesn't do enough for that. Like, I don't know if anybody ever fucking uses Void Storage, because I don't.
Yeah, I don't either. I think if they do account banking, they would definitely have to expand like the slots in the bank and stuff.
All right, Gershom, you want to read the next one?
Can someone else read it? I have a thing going on right now. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. I got it. Shantyman says, mine is account-wide reputation progression. Stop making me grind content over and over. I 100% agree with this. Dude, there's no reason I should have to farm, like, for example, ZM on 4 different characters. I think I should just have to do it once.
Yeah, that's honestly, the Zereth Mortis stuff is kind of keeping me from... parts of it are very alt-friendly. But it's keeping me from doing any realistic play with an alt. Like,
especially because when 9.2.5 comes out, they're going to be like, oh, well, now it's account wide.
Yeah.
Like it's some like significant like benefit to us. No, just make it account wide to start.
And this last answer before we say ours is from Cyrub from Scrubs vs. the World, who, by the way, answered via email. You guys have that option. You can email us your answers. He says, for me, it would be player housing. Speaking of housing, he says, some of us are old and want a place to ice our backs in between raid nights. It would also be awesome to go and farm furniture and stuff like that from old/current content. Go listen to Scrubs vs. the World. Yeah. Gershom, you back with us? Okay, she's dealing with stuff. Ben, what's your answer? Like, I know we put our answers in the Discord, but I want to hear.
Mine is very simple. Fix Outlaw Rogue. We're literally the worst spec in the game right now. We have 9 specific bugs that have not been addressed by Blizzard. Just fix us, please. We're even worse than Feral Druids at the moment.
Is this where I tell you that Sub is doing awesome?
You know, it's because I got the 278 dagger off the second boss. I'm gonna learn how to play sub now because I have to sweat to barely like not be last on the damage meter. So I have to learn to play sub.
Ben's playing sweaty. My answer is also quite simple, but also complicated. I want them to do away with any and all race class restrictions. And like, I know people are gonna say, well, no, some stuff doesn't make sense. You could make literally any race class combination make sense. Pandaren Demon Hunter, sure, might look fucking stupid, but you can justify it. Oh, this panda's like, oh, I see all that power they have. I could use that power. And then have it be like Sha themed, like they're controlling Sha shit instead of Fel. Or, well, wait, why would a Draenei ever go and do that? Gee, I don't fucking know. Maybe they're like, maybe this Fel stuff isn't so bad that we've been afraid of for 20,000 years. And then they, use it to overcome their enemies. And then people are like, well, wait, why wouldn't you want it? Why would you make new demon hunters? The Legion's done for. Well, fuck you. That's why. Or like a fucking... let's see.
I mean, the fact that undead priests exist says it all.
Yeah. Or I'm trying to think of a race class combination that typically wouldn't make sense. Like
A Tauren rogue.
Tauren rogue. They can sneak, can't they? I mean, okay, it'd be stupid, but so what? They can do it. Just do it. Do it.
I think you're right though. Like at this point, like it makes sense at the start, right? But now, like we've known each other for so long, you can't tell me that like I don't know, like undead rogues aren't able to teach like Taurens how to be rogues, and that Tauren druids can't like teach undead people how to be druids. Like just
Or-
unlock it.
Void Elf Paladins can look at what Paladins do with the light and be like, I wonder if I can use the Void the same way. Simple. Simple dimple.
Hey guys, I'm back by the way. Sorry.
Hi! What's your
I don't know
what's
where
your
we were.
answer? We were going through our answers, and I was kind of waxing poetic about mine. What's your answer to the question of what is your one wish list item?
I want account-wide currency. I'm tired
Ooh,
of
yeah.
like three characters having 3 different levels of time walking badges and each one having to farm a separate fucking mount. For instance, you know what I mean? Just
Oh, yeah.
let it be a giant pile of time walking badges. Or well, anima you can ship. Like that's what proves we can do it, right? You can ship anima, you can ship soul cinders, you can do all this. So eventually there's got to be a way to make certain currencies account bound. I don't think it should work with like honor stuff necessarily, because that's sort of like an RP thing that I think a lot of people would buck against. But I even think gold, because I was realizing the other day I've hit my goal of having 1 million gold, but
Ooh.
across like 8 characters, and I really just want to see that big 1 million on one character. I guess that sort of goes back to Tajula with like the banking, sort of. But
I
yeah,
would agree about the gold if you like keep it restricted by server, because otherwise you're just asking for trouble to fuck with all kinds of different servers.
that's
economies.
true. The gold wasn't really my thing. I think it was more like those weird like borrowed power currencies
Yeah.
that we get. Yeah, like the time walking badge was the one that was getting on my nerves, because I'm like, I did a bunch of time walking on each character last event, and still none of them has enough for any one mount. But if I put all 4 together, then I could have like 3 mounts.
Right.
So
And
yeah.
like I have been farming horrific visions to try to get the Void's Edge illusion.
That's another
And
one.
I
Yep.
would love to be able to use my coalescing visions or whatever they're called, but also take away the need for the goddamn vessel to go into that thing. It's old content. Anyway, that's the question of the week. Next question for next week. This is a little, whatever. Next question is, what 2 lore characters do you want to see get together? Let's get together. Yeah, it's a shipping question, y'all. Like, for example, I know Ben's gonna say Wrathion and Anduin, because, he's said that many times. Excuse me, but that is an example. What 2 lore characters do you guys want? You can answer on Twitter, at Thralls Balls Pod. You can answer via email, thrallsballspodcast@gmail.com, or on Discord by going to thrallsballs.com. Are you guys ready for the draft?
Yes.
Everybody.
Hell yeah.
Thralls Balls Draft. Everybody.
Fuck yeah. Okay. So last week we drafted our top 5 most hated dungeons, and I in particular quite enjoyed it because I got to make shit up about Bent. Apparently you lose your ice cream a lot. And I twisted your Bentolas Bandits thing. Your team was the Bentolas Butt Bandits. I don't know if you listened. But,
I like that.
Yeah. So, according to our polls, we drafted our top 5 most hated dungeons. Gershom and I tied, and Bent lost again. Sorry, buddy. So that has decided the order. First up is going to be Bent, and because Gershom and I are tied, I opted for the middle slot, so I don't get any double picks, just to be polite. So Bent, me, Gershom, me, Bent, etc., etc. But what are we drafting? Wait, did I say at the beginning of the show?
No, you didn't. You just said what we drafted last week.
Oh.
Yep.
We are drafting our top 5 most favorite lore characters of all time. So, Bent, you're up first.
Can they be bad guys?
Yeah, they can be bad guys.
It could be anybody.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I'm going with Illidan. He's fucking
yeah,
badass. Everyone
that
loves him.
is. I don't know if I'd call him the 101, but he's up there.
He's definitely top 3.
I think I'm just gonna have to take the obvious choice of Arthas. Like, that's who I would say is the 101. Like, he's one of the most beloved characters, even though he's an asshole and what a jerk, you know? Kills all those people. He's a real jerk.
Dumps his girlfriend at the winter social.
Yeah.
Fuck that asshole.
Fucks up a dwarf just so he can take a hammer. It's fucked up. Gershom, what's your first pick? And your second?
Draka will be number 1, of course.
Oh, how dare you! I need my dra.
Y'all fuck around about the horde, but I'm playing. I'm on the horde. I'm actually not playing horde. I'm playing alliance right now, but I still pick Draka. And if I'm gonna grab my second, I will name a night elf. Since I am also playing alliance, I will name Jared Shadowsong.
Jared Shadowsong. Nice pick.
I love the way he operates in the War of the Ancients. I just love him absolutely.
I honestly, I would have left Arthas for later, but I didn't think he would come back to me. I thought somebody would for sure pick him. So who I actually wanted to pick for my first one is Illyria Windrunner. Because, I mean, come on, I'm a Void Elf. She is the first Void Elf. Come on, Illyria's my shit.
And that Sylvanas book is hitting on her. Yeah, it feels good. I like it.
Oh, yeah, like the thing with the spring paw. I never knew about that. I always just assumed they were on equal footing in terms of archery. Nope.
That's what I mean about Christy Golden definitely filling in that backstory. It's so good.
Bent, who is your second and third pick?
I'm gonna go with Sylvanas. I think Sylvanas is one of the best characters in the game.
Yeah.
I don't care what happened recently, just everything, like how like she was just like so like logical about everything, even if it wasn't the best move to make. She always, I felt like, did what was right until the very end for her people, even if it was a fucked up decision.
I gotta agree with you. I don't think that'll be a very popular pick, but I've always liked her as a character.
I have the same struggles too, dude. Like, those feels are definitely real. The conflict, especially as a horde player, that conflict got pretty intense.
Starting about BFA, it started getting
yeah, real bad. Where you were sweating, you're like, come on, dude, you weren't that bad. What the F is going on?
There's gotta be a reason. Oh, there wasn't a good reason. There was a reason, it just wasn't good.
The jailer showed up with his nipples.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it.
Jailer nips. Who is your third pick?
Mine?
Not
Sorry,
bad.
Ben. No,
go
it's fine.
again.
Sorry.
I'm gonna go with Wrathion. I think he was one of like the
Yeah.
saving graces of BFA. He's just so cool. Like the cinematic he was in, like when he cuts open his off. I think that was one of the best cinematics they've done.
I think he is a character that has really come a long way, because when he first showed up in Cataclysm, his whole personality was, I'm the only uncorrupted black dragon. And that was it. That was it.
And
they,
now
like,
he has the ability to fall in love and do cool stuff with
Human King.
Anduin. Yeah.
and I'm glad he got rid of the turban, because
I was gonna say, when did he become like a hot sort of like quasi
as soon as the hair started falling around
Middle Eastern dude with like the locks, like when did that happen?
To be clear, I have no problem with people wearing turbans. I just want to, sorry to interrupt you. I just feel like that was important for me to say. I have no problem with that. I just think.
Well, just like his turban was like twice the size of his character.
Yeah.
He looked like that little dude in the fucking lost city of Tolvir that like runs around with the big turban on his head too. That was like a thing that was going on in Cataclysm, I guess, with the turban. I don't know. He looks way better in BFA though, I gotta say.
So I'm having a hard time picking my third.
I think you're still in shock. You got Arthas.
You know what? I'm guessing you were in a position where you had to choose between Illidan and Arthas. And let's be real, if it's a choice between the two, if you're not playing for votes in the poll, I would have picked Illidan too. Honestly, Illidan would be in my list if he weren't in yours.
I don't really like Arthas, to be honest with you. I mean, he's
Really?
a cool character. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't see the hype around him. I think Illidan's much cooler. I just maybe because I don't know. I feel like maybe this expansion kind of ruined the whole Arthas experience for me. But I think if they left him alone, I would have liked him a lot better.
Yeah. My third pick has to be Ysera, because like the moments that she has been featured prominently in the game, and I'm thinking specifically of Legion, it was fucking heartbreaking watching her get corrupted by the nightmare.
It was
and then
horrible.
we had to kill her, and it was so exciting to have her come back in Shadowlands, and I suppose now we're gonna have to leave her behind again. But she is why I am trying to get the Emerald Drake mount, because she's so cool.
We're going for a Dragonflight expansion though,
might
so
come
I
back,
don't
and
think you're
she's-
gonna say bye to Ysera. I feel like you're not gonna.
Isn't the whole thing about going to Ardenweald is like being reborn? Maybe she comes back. Who knows?
Maybe that would be dope. I feel like it would take a lot longer for a wild spirit to re-emerge into the world though. But the only other dragon aspects who've ever died were Malygos and Deathwing, and they were both really... Well, Malygos wasn't corrupted. He was just seriously...
Insane.
He was driven by grief.
Yeah, and Deathwing was definitely corrupted, but he was so entwined with the Void that he might not have gone to the Shadowlands anyway.
I feel like he might... Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
I was gonna say he might be like one of the few characters that got like, straight to the mall.
Yeah. But yeah, I would love to see Ysera come back. And I do actually think, I know we don't talk about data mine stuff, but one of the data mine things was a pre-purchase pack that included some sort of Emerald Drake mount. So maybe I don't have to do all this fucking farming and annoying.
You're gonna have to get your gonna have to get your 6-month sub though. Or maybe they'll make it a $25 amount after all these years. Jeez.
I just sort of assumed it was part of it would be part of the expansion pre-purchase.
No,
I don't know. We don't know enough about this.
Yeah, if you pre-purchase the expansion, they usually give you a mount.
Okay, so Gershom, you're up. Who are your third and fourth picks?
All right, hanging in with the dragon flight theme, I'm gonna go with Corey Alistraz. Fucking love him. Alexstrasza's main consort, and if you've read the War of the Ancients trilogy, he is huge. Now, this is not to confuse. I'm not picking Crassus. I'm not picking the human mage that is part of him. I am picking Corey Alistraz, the dragon, the red dragon. Yes.
Were they like two people that like merged?
They got split across time.
Oh.
So, like, in the modern day version of the game, I might be wrong, but they're basically like reunited. But when they go back in time to investigate the rift that is the War of the Ancients, they go back, and so Crassus is there, the human mage, and he's with Ronan, of course, because that's his mentor or whatever. And Coriolanus is kind of there, and they basically start figuring out why they can't feel so like connected to each other. And then little by little they come to realize, visiting with the Dragonflight and visiting with Alexstrasza, that they're two iterations of the same being.
Cool.
So back in the War of the Ancients, it was just Coriolanus. And then 10,000 years later, there's like a human version of himself. I don't know. It's weird. It's a fantasy novel. Yeah, but it's Coriolanus. I love him.
And who's your fourth?
I will pick Vol'jin. Yep.
Who
Troll
I thought
leader.
we would see more of this expansion. Maybe they meant for us to. Maybe that was part of the cut content.
I always wished he would show up as one of those people. But that also leads me to wonder, like, can you guys imagine the souls that Sylvanas is going to find? That's going to be part of what goes on.
They're going to be.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be. Exactly. There's going to be a lot of people.
Pissed off.
Yeah.
My fourth pick. I got to take... I'm writing Goel, but I mean, he's Thrall. I got to take Thrall. My man Thrall. Like, if not just for the fact that our show is literally named after his balls. Like, I honestly, I just fucking love orc culture in the first place. And I don't mean the bloodthirsty kill everything orc culture. I mean like the honorable, like everybody be blood and thunder type shit. I love that. Fucking love that. So
yeah, like throwing off the harness of like the bloodlust and stuff and all, and all that stuff that happens in like Lord of the Clans, and it's Thrall's Horde. Like, it's different. It's Thrall's Horde.
Yeah,
so that's the Thrall that you're picking.
And one thing that I didn't realize until listening to the Sylvanas book is how so many of the Horde races sort of have a similar struggle that they dealt with. Like, the Forsaken had to fight against the control of the Lich King. The Orcs had to fight against the control of the Burning Legion. Like, because they were like, oh shit, this demon blood is actually not just cool Mountain Dew. The Blood Elves had to fight against their addiction to magic with the Sunwell getting butt fucked. It's just, it's oh god. I love it all. It ties so well together. Bent, who is your fourth and your fifth?
I'm kind of conflicted. I'm gonna go with Sargeras.
Ooh.
I just think he was just a really cool villain. I think they did a good job with him. Like, he was a good guy, and he just like thought like the whole universe had to be purged.
Hey, he's actually the real hero here. He's trying to clean Azeroth of everything at all, and then he saved Azeroth. He's the good guy. What do you mean?
I don't know. I just think he was really good. I think
that was my late April Fool's joke. Sorry, I heard Wooly snorting.
I was like, no, I didn't snort. That was somebody's microphone. So you're picking Sargeras. Who's your fifth?
I'm like debating between two characters. I'm gonna have to go with Garrosh.
Oh, another bold pick.
I just think he did do something wrong, but I still think at the end, like, I think his character was well written. They killed him off at the right time, and I think he got a decent cameo. And I think the cameo he had in Sanctum just kind of like summed him up.
Mm. You know who Garrosh reminds me of? And this is such a huge leap, but you ever watch The Walking Dead?
No.
I've watched some. I'm behind, but which character?
It's a very early character, Shane, like who goes off the fucking rails, shaves his head, gets all bloodthirsty and shit, decides I'm in charge, fuck everybody else, and that's sort of Garrosh too. and then he had to be put down because he got too into it, too hot-headed about it. Reminds me of him. I think actually that is
I
a good
could see
pick.
that a lot. And you know what's so weird is I had someone at work today talking about The Walking Dead, and I was like, I really need to go revisit that show because I didn't even finish it, but at this point, I might just binge it back, like all the way.
I've been
Very
watching
good.
it. I've been watching it again lately with Shay. So those are your 5, Bent. You have Illidan, Sylvanas, Wrathion, Sargeras, and Garrosh. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Those
Yeah,
were
I
all
have-
bad. Those were all bad guys. Shit.
Well, I mean, we did say Wrathion's not a bad guy. My last pick is not really gonna curry me any favor, but I had so much fun with this character for the brief period he was around. He is the one and only Tepartos.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say a comma.
No.
Tepartos.
So Tepartos, Arthas, Illyria, Ysera, Thrall, and Tepartos. Gershom, you have one more pick. Who's yours?
All right, I'm picking Orgrim. I know that he
Oh,
was bloodthirsty
yes.
and
Oh,
he
good one.
cheated and he was terrible in a lot of ways, but he was a master strategist. And the fact that he went up against and sadly killed Anduin Lothar just kind of proves the point that I don't know, he's just one of my favorites. He's bloodthirsty and intelligent and he's a planner and he's one of the ones. He's a fucking leader and I do love Orgrim Doomhammer.
One of my favorite weapons in the game is the Doomhammer.
Absolutely.
You can't have the Doomhammer without its history with Orgrim. So, okay. I might be putting you guys on the spot here because I didn't really say this. But we're going to name our teams like we sometimes do. And we're going to name them like we're naming like a soccer team or something. Or like our super secret superhero club or some shit. I don't know. Or we don't have to. Whatever.
I'll name mine Misunderstood.
Bentolas. Misunderstood. I'm gonna put the Misunderstood if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna name my team of Arthas, Illyria, Ysera, Thrall, and Tepartos as Dales in ya Nick. Cause last week it was Nails in ya Dick, now it's Dales in ya Nick.
That sounds awful, even though I don't know what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and steal your prompt and say superhero supervillain club or something like that. There you go. Superhero supervillain club.
Superhero supervillain club. I actually think you have the best name because I thought of Dale's in ya Nick, like it was like, what the fuck? So to recap, Bentolas' The Misunderstood are Illidan, Sylvanas, Wrathion, Sargeras, and Garrosh. My Dales in ya Nick are Arthas, Illyria, Ysera, Thrall, and Tepartos. Gershom's Superhero Supervillain Club are Draka, Jared's Shadowsong, Coriel Straz, Vol'jin, and Orgrim. So you can watch for the poll on Twitter and in Discord to vote on who you think drafted the best one. And to reiterate, our Twitter is @ThrallsBallsPod, and our Discord you can get to by going to thrallsballs.com. So next week, okay, so we haven't been saying what we're going to draft in the next week, but I think that's also led to, at the last minute, me being like, shit, we never set a draft, and then we come up with it at the last second. So next week, we're going to be drafting our top 4, not top 5, top 4 most underappreciated zones in WoW. Like, this won't be one, because people go there all the time. It's not underappreciated, but like Elwyn Forest, you could say it's underappreciated because such and such, you know? Yeah, we're gonna draft that next week.
Hey, quick question. This is just for shits and giggles for me.
8
Like,
inches.
if you had one more pick in the draft, who would you guys have taken?
Oh, geez. Rexar. Yeah, it would have been Rexar, because I like the idea of the Machnathal, and I want to see that fleshed out.
I actually would have picked Tyrande. And by the way, to throw back way back in the earlier in the episode, Wooly, when you talked about her back muscles, I was like, damn, this chick is yoked. I was watching that cinematic, like, damn, y'all on some CrossFit, huh?
She's getting memed a little bit for it, but like that cinematic is how a lot of WoW players discovered they're into girls.
Yeah,
she looks yoked as fuck. I dig it. I dig strong chicks, so I like it.
I was debating between Tyrande, Sargeras, and Garrosh for my last story. So that's why I just want to add.
And so you left the strong female behind. Oh, Chris, I can't believe this shit. I'm playing. I'm playing.
I thought you guys were gonna take her. I thought she would go off the board right away.
I gotta be honest, like, she's not my favorite character. But for a long time, I fucking hated her as a character, and I couldn't figure out why. But like, the fucking warpath she has been on since Darkshore, like, I fucking love that character now. She's awesome.
Character development has been huge, like it always is with this game, but the past couple expansions for sure has been huge. They're definitely tying shit together. I have more of a soft spot for both Tyrande and Sylvanas, which is actually weird because they're adversaries, but I just love the way this story and this character development is going.
I just realized when she holds the glaive up to Sylvanas' throat in the Judgment cinematic, that is literally the same edge of the glaive that was used to cut Nathanos' head off.
I thought Sylvanas leaned into it a little bit. She was almost like, kill me. Yeah, she did.
That is one of my biggest regrets. Maybe the book will answer the question, I don't know. But one of my biggest regrets about this expansion is, don't get me wrong, I don't care what happens to him because he's a total bastard. But the fact that we don't know what happened with Nathanos is annoying me. Anyway.
Totally.
I would say final thoughts, but we did just kind of share final thoughts. But let's sum up our final thoughts in like a sentence. Bent, what's your final thought?
Anduin Wrathion. Tune in next week.
That's always your final thought. Gershom, what's your final thought?
I think Nathanos is one of those Mossworn that you killed and stole his dog from.
Rock on. And my final thought is Bent fucking murdered the mixed drink of the week. He absolutely obliterated it. He did great. So we're gonna just, go ahead and get on out of here. You can follow us on Twitter at Thralls Balls Pod. You can follow me at Wooly08, 2 O's, 2 L's, and a Y. Follow Gershom at Hunter Gershom, Gershom. Follow Bent at Bentolas_outlaw, Bentolas. Email us at thrallsballspodcast@gmail.com, or you can leave a review in the Warcraft Radio podcast directory at warcraftradio.com. Beyond that, guys, bye. We love you. Be good.
Have a beautiful day, swingers.